Hello, welcome to a week of painting together for Inktober. Now, I've got to be honest with you, I have had a practice of today's prompt, and the reason is because I already recorded this morning's lesson this morning, but I did it all without any volume. So I'm going to re-record it, which means this is my second Inktober for today. But I kind of just thought, that's okay, let's just do it together so that I can actually explain everything I'm doing instead of just showing you the image. Now, for this week, the prompt today is Rhinoceros, as you saw, but I'm also going to take you through the prompts for the week and show you how they're going to make a bigger picture if you are painting along with me. Let me say two things before I do that. First of all, thank you so much for the emails and the messages saying how much you are enjoying Inktober. I don't know anybody else who's as lucky as me to wake up on the weekend and just receive really beautiful emails that start with the words, "You have changed my life. This has been so amazing. I've got my paints out again." So thank you so much, because you are helping me complete Inktober and paint every day, and hopefully I'm helping you do the same thing. If you are loving painting every day, don't forget my workshop starts on the 28th of October, so you are more than welcome to attend that as well. It's going to be super fun. It's a free 3-day event, and if you want any of the information about that, we send you out an email, but if you're not on my email list, write down in the comments if you don't have any information about it yet. Okay, I'm going to run you through the prompts for this week. Now, if you don't want to see them and you like them to be a surprise, look away now and I will tell you when you can look back, okay? All right, so today we have Rhinoceros, then we have Camp, Rust, Expedition, Scarecrow, and Camera. So we're going to start, you can look back now if that's how you're playing along at home. We're going to start by drawing this little guy, and we're going to draw him using some basic shapes, and we're going to put him kind of in the middle of our page. His feet are just under the middle of our page. I'm using a cold pressed sketchbook. You can see that I have already used it for all of the other things that we've done together. So if you want to catch up, because this is your first week painting with me, you can catch up on the other activities as well. All right, so let's use some basic shapes to draw a rhinoceros. Let's find the middle of our page, give ourselves a little dot here so that we kind of know we kind of want to stay in this middle area. And we can't really rely on a lot of basic shapes for the rhinoceros because he's so curvy, but we can have a fallen ice cream cone, so as a horn. And then just behind that ice cream cone is another one. They're both falling, it's not your day, terrible. And then just behind that, a little triangle for the ear. And we're going to take that along here and have another kind of ear out to the side. You know, you're welcome to come back and pause this as you go, but I'm just going to keep drawing it, just explaining all the little patterns as we go. You're more than welcome to trace this as well. I'm just going to try to freehand it. We've got a rectangle that goes a little bit curved down till we get parallel to the cone here, and then we're going to take a triangle shape back up to our cone, and that's basically our face. If we do two upside down smiles, we have the nose. We could do a little curve for crinkly bits, and just along from the kind of bottom of our horn, we can put a dot. Suddenly he looks really cute. Whenever you give something tiny little eyes, they end up looking super cute. So we've got a little dot here. We'll put a little bracket on one side, and then we'll give him a little bag under his eye, and another bag, and one at the top. And that's basically his face done. So we're going to take a round section from the ear, take it around down to kind of where we thought we would put a leg, where we did that dot earlier. So it's very similar to elephant legs, just a little bit stumpy and a little bit knobbly on the knee. Just think about curves, don't think about trying to get it super accurate, because he is going to look like a rhinoceros no matter what we do. Let's take a little happy smile all around the side here, up past the ear, and let's give him one of those little hunchback humps at the top there. Let's take a leg from halfway down this little balloon rump. And again, we're just following our curves, do a little knobbly knee and the bottom of the feet. We can do some little upside down smiles for the toes, I want to say. But I'm not super aware of the anatomy of the rhinoceros. So if you're happy with it, you can ink it in. Now I'm going to ink mine in with a very fine 0.5 ink today. And as the week goes on, if I kind of decide that he's a little bit too light as the week goes on, at least I can go back over it another time. I don't need to worry too much. But I think just kind of practicing this little guy, I'm not trying to do the absolute best rhinoceros, though you are more than welcome to give it a go if you like. I'm just trying to get my paints out every day, and I'm trying to use the prompts as inspiration. Now, I've done Inktober for several years, and to varying degrees of success. This is the furthest along I've ever got with Inktober, so I'm really proud of myself. Like I said, I wouldn't have been able to have gotten this far if you guys weren't all painting with me, so I do want to thank you. But I also wanted to mention that one of the things that I know from having painted in Inktober before is that the more obsessed you get about your image, the closer you want to flirt with perfection, the less likely you are to complete the challenge. This is cold pressed paper, so it's going to be really bumpy. Hot pressed paper is a little bit softer, and I have a hot pressed paper sketchbook also, but I'm using my cold pressed for Inktober because I like the texture. I like to leave my hot pressed paper if I'm also writing, because it's kind of a little bit easier to put the ink on if I'm going to write a watercolor journal entry or something like that. But this cold pressed paper is just gorgeous, and it already makes it all nice and textural, so I don't have to work very hard to get the paint on. You can see I'm just using a grey. This is called a Payne's grey. It's one of my favourites, but I'm also just mixing it ever so slightly with a little bit of blue, and it is just, whatever blue is left on my palette. I don't tend to clean my palette very often. So this is just whatever was left from when I've been painting before. That's the great thing about watercolor, is it's very forgiving. I hear so many people say watercolor is not for beginners. I don't think anything is for beginners. I definitely don't think driving is for beginners, or swimming. But watercolor is really forgiving for beginners, because a lot of things can just be moved around with water. So if you ever hear that, then you know how I feel about it. Just going to add a little bit of grey here. A few little bits of grey. I might come back as the week goes on and see if I need to add any extra colour to different areas. For the start, I just kind of want to get some of the images kind of mapped in. When I was practicing this one accidentally without the volume on, goodness me, I hope the volume's on now, I did a little bit of yellow ochre with the horn, and funnily enough, I'll show it to you. I think I like the horn white. So I think I'm actually going to leave it. I'll show it to you, and we can kind of decide together, because like I said, I accidentally did one earlier. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it white. I think it pops a little bit more. I think it made it a little bit too flat when I introduced a little bit of yellow ochre. So let's leave this guy here. And let's come back tomorrow to add in some of the extra details. If you are looking for my workshop, which starts on the 28th of October, then go ahead and reply to any email that I've sent you. And if you're not on my email list, you're more than welcome to comment down below. It's going to be super fun. I'm going to come back tomorrow, hopefully only do this once, tomorrow's one, and we're going to add some extra details around this picture. I'll see you then. Bye.